Hey, welcome to Maximum Bat Speed. I want to do a video today for you on coaching, more specifically hitting coaches. And for me, I believe that it's so important for a student to come work with me and get good results. So by the time they come in and by the time they leave, that they definitely see a difference in their velocity and their exit speed and just the mechanic in general. And one thing I always tell my students is that when you're working, any coach is working with you, you should be able to produce a swing that looks like pretty much an elite Major League Baseball swing. And the reason why is because the softball swing and the baseball swing, there's no difference as how you should teach it, in my opinion. I work with NCAA D1 players and I've softball players. I've worked all the way. I work with several professional players, and it doesn't matter who I'm working with. Even if I'm working with a child, teenager, young adult, I'm going to just teach them the same mechanics, okay? And one of the things that I want you on this video to kind of see here, we have on the left, Erin Coffel from University of Kentucky. She has already 19 home runs, I believe. And on the right, Andrew Vaughn, excuse me, when he was playing in college. He now plays for the White Sox. Just both of them tremendous players. As far as Erin Coffel on the left, she's one of, if you pull her up, you'll see that she's one of the leading home run hitters in NCAA D1 softball. She's just an amazing hitter. And one of the reasons why I believe she is because she applies the mechanics that you see in Major League Baseball. And again, for me, my goal is to get, whether you're a softball player or a baseball player, I'm trying to get you to produce the same kind of angles that you see in the best players in the Major League Baseball. Now, everyone, of course, has their own style, but I do believe there are some absolutes, and it's important for, if you're working with a coach, for they to understand that, because if they don't, I believe it's going to hurt the player, okay? So I have over here on the left, Erin Coffel, and on the right, Andrew Vaughn, and I'm going to just kind of show you they're synced up right here. And again, they have kind of different styles. Now, right now, they're pretty much just getting into the setup, or just starting a few frames after the setup. And as they start to get into the apex of the gather right here, you're going to see a couple of things are going on. At this stage of the swing, you can see here that with Erin right here, her palm is kind of facing this way. And right here at this stage of the swing, you can see here with Andrew, his palm is facing this way. And again, if you were to look at him from direct opposite side batter's box, so you can look down at the home plate as kind of at an angle like this. And with Andrew Vaughn, he pretty much has the same angle. Okay, so you're not looking at them from direct opposite side batter's box view. But if you were, their bats would be pretty vertical and their wrists would be pretty vertical, okay? And the thing that I want you to see here, and this is what you see, again, whether you're working with an elite softball player, an elite baseball player, again, the styles are going to differ a little bit. This is what you're pretty much going to see as far as what's going on. Now, as they start their forward move, again, this is what you should be seeing, or what should occur in an elite swing. As you start getting into your forward move, the top hand, okay, if you're a right-hander, it would be your right hand. If you're a left-hander, it would be your left hand. You want to be pulling back. Watch Andrew Vaughn on the right. You want to be pulling back, okay? And if you look at Erin, watch what she's doing. She's pulling back with her top hand. As she's pulling back and getting into her stride, both of them are doing exactly the same thing. They're pulling back with their top hand as they're getting their palm to work kind of downward, and they're starting to feel like they're spilling a cup or working the palm downward. They're both doing exactly the same thing. Now you can see here with Erin, now her palm is pretty much pointing in this direction. And again, here with Andrew, the same thing's going on with him, okay? One's a softball player, one's a baseball player. Nothing is different here, okay? They're both right here. If you look at their legs, they're both landing about 60% of their height. This is what you see in the most elite players, okay? They're pretty much landing about 60% of their height. Another thing that you'll see in elite players, this is just information for you. If you're doing working on drills, I highly recommend for you to do mirror work. This is what you will see. You will see very slight flexion in the lead arm. Okay, the bat will be pointing about 45 degrees, and you'll kind of see a shoulder to elbow look in pretty much every elite baseball player and pretty much in most elite softball players. Now, the softball players, in my opinion, do not do it anywhere as near as MLB players, but they're getting better and better every year because the information like this channel and many other good coaches out there that are giving very sound information are helping a lot of the ladies now to get their swings to match up more to Major League Baseball players. Now, again, if we look at Andrew, you can see here the angles that he has right here is almost identical to what you see with Erin on the left, okay? So again, they're both in perfect sequence here. And by sequence, I just mean that they are not applying any of the pullback. They're not applying any of the palm down until they start their forward move. Both of them are doing the same thing. Watch their back elbow. Watch the pullback. Now, watch what's going on right here. If I draw a line right now at this stage of the swing, as they're starting their swing pretty much at the apex of the gather, you can see here with both Andrew and with Erin, their shoulders are pretty much pointing in this direction, okay? Now, watch what happens as they get into their toe touch, both of them, and they get into their toe touch. Now, you can see it's very obvious here with Erin on the left that her shoulders are not pointing in this way, and Andrew, his shoulders are pointing in this way. They both did the same thing. Now, what produced that? The top hand. Okay, the top hand pulling back as it's starting to go palm down or tilting like you're spilling a cup, okay? That is what causes that back elbow to go back and behind them, okay? Back and behind them. They're doing this with the top hand. I've been doing videos for many years and I talk about top hand torque, okay? That is pretty much what I call it. If you're pulling back with the top hand, and as you're pulling back with the top hand, the back elbow works up, back, and behind you as you're starting to get like kind of a palm down, kind of a action going on with your top hand, okay? Now, as they both get into their toe touch, okay, now you can see they both look very athletic, very powerfully. They both just look very, very sound and mechanically sound and very just solid right there as they get into toe touch. Now, both of them right here, watch what's going on with both of them. As they get into their heel plant, watch what's going on with their top hand now. Immediately with both of them, you can see here that immediately the palm went from being kind of palm down to palm up. Both of them doing exactly the same thing. And you can see with both of them, you can see that the blur is coming right behind them, both of them. It's just beautiful bat speed that is being produced behind them. Now, again, if you want to get early bat speed, if you want to get more power in your swing, I highly recommend for you to do this drill and follow this video, watch it several times, and I would get to toe touch in this position right here. And as you start to rotate your hips, keep your hands back and just go from palm down to palm up. Just do it over and over. Now, what will produce this is as you're starting to rotate your hips, as you're getting into heel plant and rotating your hips, you should feel like your right hand is kind of just working from palm down to palm up immediately. And by doing that, and the lead elbow working up to the height of the mouth, and if you've been watching my videos, I've been talking about this for many, many years. As you start this action, when the palm immediately goes up, you want to have your lead elbow work up to the height of the mouth. And you can see here with both these players here, with Erin right here and with Andrew right here, their elbows are working up to the height of the mouth. This is exactly what you should see. And if you're not doing this, I highly recommend for you to do that drill where you're immediately, as you're getting into your heel plant, again, immediately the top hand goes from palm down to palm up, just like this. You'll feel the blur behind you. Okay, in other words, you do not want at this stage of the swing for your hands to be working this way and down, like what I see with a lot of young players I work with, and the hands are literally right here, okay? You don't want your hands here, okay? You want your hands to stay back, and the way you do it, just like I just mentioned, is as you're getting into your toe touch, you want to pull back with your top hand and you want to make sure your palm is pointing down. And immediately as you get into heel plant, you're going to go to the lead elbow working up to the height of the mouth. And one thing if you've been following my channel for a while, I always talk about exaggerating the barrel below the hands. Watch this right here, barrel below the hands, okay? Many times at this stage of the swing, I see that the lead elbow is down here, somewhere down down here. Okay, you do not want your lead elbow down here. That will produce a very flat bat where it's going to be kind of doing one of these right here. You're going to slap at it. You're not going to be able to hit to and through the ball. What you want to be able to do is keep the barrel below the hands, and you want the bat to be working in an orbit, in an upward orbit. Okay, that's what you want. You don't want to have the slapping action back and forth. And the reason that happens is because the lead elbow never works up to the height of mouth. It works down here, below the chest. Okay, you do not want it to work below the chest. That will create a lot of problems. Now, as we go further here, watch what happens. They both get to beautiful extension. And this is a cause and effect. Again, let the lead elbow work up to the height of the mouth. And I call this kind of what I call is kind of a hinge move right here, where everything is kind of pointing in this way. It kind of just stays there. Okay. And then what I call it a hinge move is, just say this was kind of a little hinge right here by the elbow. Okay. And then the next frame, if you watch what goes on next, watch what it just does. The arm extends. Okay, it just kind of extends like a hinge, where now you have this move where it kind of goes like this to straight like this. Okay, that's the kind of a look that you want. Again, look on the left, you want this kind of to be down like this, and then as you get to extension, the arm should extend straight through. If we go one more frame here, watch what happens. The arms extend beautifully. Okay, and this is what you're trying to go for. When I'm working with my students, I always work on the full arm extension and barrel below the hands. I even have them exaggerate where the barrel stays below the hands, because most players want to get it way up here. So by exaggerating the barrel below the hands, it will put you in a very elite extension. Okay, this is just beautiful, beautiful extension right here. Okay. Anyway, this video right here is just to kind of show you that, in my opinion, the softball swing and the baseball swing, if you're working with a coach, I'm hoping that they're working with you in the mechanics that you see in the most elite players in Major League Baseball, because again, that is the goal. That is the goal, in my opinion, for every coach, to get their players to perform at that level. And again, softball players are getting better at this, and they're just improving. And I do online video analysis. If you ever get a hold of me at maximumbatspeed@gmail.com, I'm out of Northern California. If I can work with you, give me a call. I'd love to work with you and get you to have mechanics like these two great players right here. All right. Thanks for watching my channel. Please give me a like, subscribe to my channel. All right. All right, guys. Have a great day.